resisting, the forces of evil become a little scared. They go back a bit. They still try, but they go back a bit. And I will give you some examples how even in 2016, in the Human Rights Law Network, what kind of victories we have won. You may think sometimes you are a single person against a mighty government. You may think sometimes, what can I do alone? I don't have anybody helping me, who is with me, who is standing with me. But the time has come, my dear friends, where you have to stand alone. If you have to stand alone, you stand alone. And sometimes a single person standing up to injustice can change the course of history. Single person standing up to injustice. But in our country, millions of persons are fed up. Millions of persons are angry. Millions of persons are frustrated. But millions of persons are looking for a leader. A true leader emerges who can do real strong action. Millions of people will follow. You saw Delhi. NDA government had won. And yet in Delhi they swept the polls. Swept the polls. Because people felt, yes, Arvind Kejriwal is the man whom I can believe in. I'm not talking today. This little bit of disillusionment has crept in. But I'm saying you can see how after the central government is solid in Delhi, how in the country, how in Delhi sweep the polls. What does it show? It shows that people are so angry and bitter and frustrated. They are fed up with these political parties. And they are looking for a new political party to emerge or a political person to emerge who will lead them against injustice. Now I'm a senior lawyer, I'm a lawyer in the Supreme Court. If you were to ask me, would that person lead on a legal line? Follow the law, obey the law, go to the courts? No. It is too late for that. The change will come with like every insurrection, every social movement, every revolution. It's like a tsunami. It does not recognize boundaries. And it is not going to be curbed. And although the courts give us a lot of justice from time to time, and I'll give you some cases, it would be very foolish to believe in the courts alone. It would be very hazardous to believe in the courts alone. It would be over-optimistic to believe that the judges and Supreme Court and High Court and these courts will bring social change in India. Not possible. Because even our legal system has slowed down because of the attack on the legal system itself. You have seen our Chief Justice lamenting that we have 1/5 of the judges that we need to have. Look at the situation in India. If we need 10 judges, we have 2. So government doesn't want to spend on judiciary. Now if you have 1/5 the number of judges, it means that a judge is sitting in the court. If he should have 10 cases, he will have 50 cases. If he should have 20 cases, he will have 100 cases. So obviously he is going to adjourn large number of cases. He is going to adjourn these cases. Then people will say adjournment, lawyers are to blame, judges are to blame and so on. But the root cause is that we don't have enough judges. Manmohan Singh would not give you judges. He thought wasting money on the judiciary is waste of money. He will waste it on everything else. But he will not give you judges. Modi Sarkar is the same, they will not give you judges. In that sense, between Congress and BJP, there is not much difference. Not much. In terms of attitude towards judiciary and so on. And so, my dear friends, you are standing on the brink of the darkest period in the history of this country. And many of you are young with children. I am 65 years old. But I am young like you because I have a 6-year-old daughter, so that is different. But you have young children, and you have to think, not just Pankaj, Tarek, you think not just what will happen to me, what will be my future when I'm 40, 50, 60, But you'll have to think, what will be the future of our children? Are we safe? Are we secure? Even if I work from morning to night as a lawyer, will I live a decent middle class life? Is it possible? Not possible. Not possible. Persons who rule the nation will ensure that they get richer and more powerful, and all of us will be made completely useless. Completely useless. And if our children get asthma and so on and so forth, because of pollution, all kinds of diseases come. One medical case, one medical incident, one hospitalization, one, thing happening to you and finish, you are bankrupt, your bank balance low. So think, my dear friends. I know you called me as a lawyer to speak, but I want you to think that you are in a very dangerous position. And you must plan for the future in terms of changing your situation and the lives of your country, women. And you will have to become much more radical in your thinking. Radicalism now is not just for Kashmir or Chhattisgarh or Jharkhand or Orissa, where the tribals are fighting for their lives. Tribals know better than me what the situation is. Because the government comes, police comes, army comes, multinational companies come with their private armies, they put a gun to their head and say, get off your land. They fight. So they'll make some spear, they'll make bow and arrow, they'll make some homemade pistol, they'll make some homemade bomb, and they'll fight. And correctly so. And then everybody will say, look at those terrorists. Look at the terrorists. But why? Just leave them alone. Who asked you to take their land? Who asked you to take their forest? Who asked you to take their water? Who asked you to come with your mining companies? Who asked you? It's my land. Who asked you to come? They call them terrorists. And it's fashionable now. You're a terrorist, you're a terrorist, you're a terrorist, you're a terrorist. Fashionable. But people are speaking up. You saw, people are speaking up in the country. So the conclusion of the first part of my talk is that you have to learn to be very radical in your mind. Do not think in the normal way. Think of organizing, like Baba Sahib Ambedkar said, long back, after independence, when there was not so much need, agitate, mobilize, organize. Agitate, mobilize, organize, maker of the constitution. Lawyer. He was not saying go to the courts and fight public interest litigation. I advocate that. Agitate, organize, mobilize. And agitate against the injustice that see around you. Look at demonetization, the most cruel measure to affect the lives of millions of people. Let us see what happens now in Punjab, in Goa with the election. Let's see what happens. Some people say no, everybody supports. I don't get that impression. I get the impression people are suffering bitterly. Let us see. So let me tell you now in the second part of my talk very briefly. What are the cases HRLN did in 2016? Just 3 or 4 cases to give you an example of how you can fight in the courts and mobilize against injustice. The Indian system is very different from any other system in the world. You are fortunate. You are very fortunate that we are in India. You go to America, you have no role to play. The public interest lawyer. You go to Europe, you have no role to play. There is no such thing as public interest law. There is no such thing as public interest litigation. There is only locus standi is very small. If you yourself are affected by torture, you can file a case. But if you see somebody else being affected by torture, you can't file a case. If you are affected by environment, you can file a case. But if you can see a whole village affected by environment, you can't file a case. Backward systems. We in the developing world, we think developed world is advanced. Developed world is the most backward systems. Private rights, no individual, no collective rights. Individual rights, no collective rights. That's the jurisprudence of America and Europe. But look at India. Anybody can file a case. In America, you have to start at the bottom and go up. So the Guantanamo Bay cases, torture cases, everybody could see pictures of torture right across the world. But they had to start down and they reached the Supreme Court only after 20 years. Useless. They reached the Supreme Court too late. If we had a thing like Guantanamo Bay, we would be in the Supreme Court next day. Next day we would be. How much does it cost for a case? 500 rupees to get it to the court. Simple. So ours is a dynamic system of law. Dynamic, it's a revolutionary system of law. Which there are many enemies of that. Many judges also are the enemies of the system. Many judges are great supporters of the system. But there are many people who are saying, no, courts are meant for the rich, not the poor. Why should all this riff-raff litigation, this lafda litigation, this ek garib kya chakkar hota hai, why should they be taking so much time in the Supreme Court and High Court? There are many people who believe this. Many people. But it is a revolutionary system, my dear friends, made. Some very progressive-minded judges made the judgments. And as young lawyers, you must learn to do it. Not just do your cases, you do your case in the trial court, criminal court, family court, labor court, you do this consumer court, you do your cases. But you must learn to take up public interest cases in a very disciplined manner, wherever you are. And if you can't do that, never mind, but at least wherever you are, you must raise issues of public interest and use the system as much as you can. Armed Forces Special Powers Act judgment of Justice of the Supreme Court which was delivered recently. In Manipur, there were 1,535 cases of disappearances, forced killings, forced abductions. Can you imagine? एक छोटा सा स्टेट है in नॉर्थ ईस्ट. कुछ लोग जानते भी नहीं ये मणिपुर कहाँ पड़ता है, उसमें क्या दिक्कतें हैं, कुछ नहीं. और वहां पे 1,500 लोग गायब हो गए. यूरोप में अगर बताया जाएगा उनको बहुत ये आश्चर्य लगता है कि ऐसा हो सकता है कि इंडिया इज अ डेमोक्रेटिक कंट्री. दे हैव नेवर हर्ड कि ऐसा होता है. आई एम नॉट टॉकिंग अबाउट कश्मीर. ऑफ कोर्स कश्मीर 30,000 more than 50,000. It has become routine life. Kashmir has become routine. Kill. Nobody will touch. High Court will not touch. Supreme Court will not touch. Nobody will touch. So, Supreme Court gave a judgment, very remarkable judgment. Very remarkable judgment. सबसे पहले सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने कहा कि देखो ये जो आरोप है आपका 1,500 केसेस आपने पूरा लिस्ट दिया. I want to check this. How do I know this is correct or not correct? So they gave it to a commission headed by Justice Hegde, retired Supreme Court judge. Justice Hegde went to Manipur and said, take evidence of these 5 cases. एक जावेद लड़का था 11 साल का. He was reading to his grandmother. Grandmother की आंखें जो है कमजोर हो गई. He was reading to her newspaper. Army comes in, holds him by the collar, takes him to the garden, shoots him dead. And they say he was a dreaded terrorist. देखो 9mm होता है ना ये? 30mm किस लिए था? 9mm पिस्टल. और ये dreaded terrorist था. 11 years old school boy. And witnesses the whole family. So पूरा सब witness को बुलाया. And Justice Hegde concluded that this has nothing to do with terrorists firing on the army. Standard defenses. हम उस एरिया में गया. People opened fire on us. We retaliated. Shot him dead. 9mm pistol. Nothing to do. And not only that, he has no terrorist background. Affidavit they will file that he has terrorist background. And similarly, 5 cases they took like this. I remember I went to Manipur for cross-examination in one case. That was the case where they said we were standing, we had blocked the road, we were standing waiting for terrorists, we got tip off. और दो लोग आगे, मैंने कहा रुको रुको, they did not stop. मैंने दोबारा warning दी, they did not stop. Then we opened fire, they opened fire, we opened fire, one person died. So I asked in cross-examination, Major Sir, you said he's a terrorist? Yes.